2, 1, 2. Yeah, it remains to be seen if this microphone works, as we're serving one microphone between two of us. Mixmaster Morris says, yeah, you're in every dimension. Hey, we'll just keep the volume down so you can vaguely hear us. Let us know in the chat if you can hear us. We are Pirate TV. This is Wednesday night. I'm Altered Fist, alias Matt Black, and Mixmaster Morris is my special guest. Hello, Morris.
Hello.
And yeah, we have no idea what we're going to do, but we're going to say hello to you. And the monitor screen of the chat is unusually far away from me today, so I must owlishly try and see it. Oh, I could use that. Yeah, but then there's Twitch, you see. I'm low. Alright. Maybe we're going to do it just a bit of a pass the mic MC style thing. Let me try it. I'm going to mute it for a sec. 1 second. Yeah, I think we'll find that is rather more crisp. But thanks for the feedback there, Olive. Good to see you. And who can I see in the chat today? On Twitch, on Facebook. If only I could make it a bit bigger. How could I make it bigger? I can see, even with my glasses on. Aid Huntingford, I can see. Good. Thanks, Aid. Thanks for the feedback. Mark Dryden in the place. Pixie Cosmos. And John Van de Poel. Yeah, yes, thank you, Nadia. Yes, any level fluctuations in badness are my responsibility, but let's get Mixmaster to say hello.
Hello.
We can even dub up the Mixmaster. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna in a moment turn on. It's a special Mixmaster Mix Track Super Pack dimensional dub provider alias Tractor, and start operating some visuals and say hello. Just hold 1 secundo. Okay, I guess I can say that we have started. I can start recording, can't I? There we go. Right, we are live, my pirates. Let's see if we can come up and say hello. Turn that one on. What about if I do that? Is it going to do anything? A brief pause. Use the backup one for the moment. Okay, I'll get this show on the road shortly. I suppose I can even do a bit of that, can't I? There you are, Mixmaster, you're live. You can just about see it there. Our monitors are all over the place. This is the camera, so we can give the camera a wave. I'll just pass the mic to you for a sec. What you got lined up for us today? We're going to make it up as we go along. Give us a hint.
We're literally making it up as we go along. I think we are literally making it up as we go along. And of course, it all depends on finding tracks that we aren't going to get booted off for. Although the problem is, it seems to attempt to identify anything, even though when it gets it wrong. So even if you do have something truly obscure, it comes back and says it's Tiesto.
We've actually been fairly lucky recently. copyright Nazis have been, I shouldn't badmouth them really, so they take a softer view on us. Hey there everyone. Okay, I'm going to let Mixmaster play some tunes. I'm going to duck out of this Parpatron 9000 Pirate TV intro, and I'm going to try and get things working. So if I gave you a quick scan of the setup here, well, you can see quite a lot of wires and boxes in the area. And into the heart of Space Lab, this is my studio in London, actually, in Old Kennington, in the Ninja Tune hindquarters. So I think we could play your first tune. I'm going to filter this one out. And you can tell us what this is if you like, mate.
I have to look up the artist.
I've been in the position sometimes, actually, of people coming up and saying, "What's that?" And I have to say, "Well, I don't know. Morris gave it to me." R.I.P. Richard H. Kirk, instigator, original and founder of Cabaret Voltaire. The Cabs were a massive influence, but maybe we can play something from theirs that's suitably obscure later on.
We certainly can. I have the whole catalogue here because I've just done a Cabs mix that I put on Mixcloud last night. It's currently number 4 on the post-punk charts, but it's going to go up. I guess they were the first electronic bands I saw, I guess, were Cabaret Voltaire and Suicide, but neither of whom used any synthesizers in the early days. Cabaret Voltaire...
What did they use then?
Cabaret Voltaire used guitar and clarinets, but put through lots of processing. So to me they were always about sound treatment rather than synthesis. And it was, I mean, early Cabaret Voltaire was really distorted and angsty and shrill and not exactly easy listening.
Uneasy listening, we call it. Take the mic.
It made a big impression on me as a 17-year-old. I think at the earliest gig they did was at Sheffield Art College, and one of them was playing the clarinet wrapped up in fairy lights inside a wardrobe. I seem to remember. So they were never going to be a Eurovision type band.
No, they were Peel favourites though, and you know, there was them and Throbbing Gristle. They were two. John Moore, my partner, was really into TG as well. And actually, Steve Mallender was one of the other founders of Cabaret Voltaire. I got to meet him in Perth, of all places, when Ninja did a tour there in Australia a few years ago. But I think he's since come back to the UK and is based in Brighton. I've been in contact with him.
I think Stephen Mallender...
I'm saying Steve's still going. I mailed him
today saying that Richard was the last surviving member of Cabaret Voltaire, and I expect Steve was probably quite surprised.
Fuck them. But I tell you, this is a weird little story actually. Because last night I was thinking about Morris, and I was thinking about a conversation that we had a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about Richard H. Kirk, and I said that he'd been in LFO, and Morris said no, he wasn't. He did release a record on Warp. So last night I thought I'd check it out, and I googled it, and I found that Richard H. Kirk had passed away within like the last few hours, so that was pretty weird. And of course Morris was right, he was in Test Tone. Sweet Exorcist was...
Sandos.
Oh, White Darkness, that was a wicked track. Yes indeed. So anyway, you'll have to take the mic from me, otherwise we'll have to swap it around.
I looked up on Discogs and he's recorded under about 25 different aliases.
Well, we posted an article by the wonderful Joe Muggs on Facebook with the RIP notice, and the link to Test Tone by Sweet Exorcist, which Jonathan and I used to cane at early raves. So, one less hero to hold back the forces of darkness. We'll have to keep on ourselves and be inspired by Mr. Richard H. Kirk. I'm going to pass you the mic because I still want to get some visuals working. You can tell us what this is.
It's Kitsutsuki, but I can't find the artist's name. Actually, I don't have a way of looking the artist's name up. It's from one of the Japanese compilations on Lights in the Attic from Seattle, which is an excellent label that I can heartily recommend, who also did the Free Design reissues recently. But yeah, first time I saw Cabaret Voltaire was probably 78 at Ulu, and would have been on a lineup with Rough Trade bands. I think maybe Scritti Politti and the Monochrome Sets or something like that. But it's definitely the Cabs I remember from that performance. They also played at the YMCA festival, so maybe I saw them there first, which was a kind of legendary event that took place in Tottenham Court Road at the YMCA. Next tune. Okay, put another tune up. And I remember the lineup. The first night was Echo and the Bunnymen, Teardrop Explodes, Joy Division and Essential Logic. And I went to that night. And the second night was Red Crayola, Scritti Politti, The Transmitters and The Good Missionaries. How's this for memory? And
I've got to say, you leave me in the dust with this. But you did go to a lot of good gigs, and they were all £1 each, Morris says. I believe also you did naughtily record quite a few of them, didn't you?
Not in the 70s. I didn't start recording until later on. We didn't have proper Walkmans to record on in those days, so it was quite hard to record a gig unless you took a ghetto blaster in, and then you were a bit obvious.
I did that, I can say, for the Psychedelic Furs in New York in 1979, which was quite good. When did you first start taking a decent... did you have like a Sony Walkman Pro, one of those ones?
I did in the 80s. That must have been as late as 82, but I actually was in the bootlegging business by then. A mate of mine was doing a stall on Camden Market in Portobello, so I used to go every Saturday and sell bootlegs. And then it became like an industry, and we'd go to all the gigs and record everything that was happening in town and have it on sale the next day.
Naughty but nice. Have you still got all the tapes?
I haven't, but I've still got like a couple of dozen good ones. But we were subverting the music industry even back then.
It's the one that used to say, home tape is skill in music. It's about time. Okay, take this again whilst I try and get the visuals working.
Okay. So what's on now is a band called the Watermelon Group, Japanese band from the 80s that I didn't know anything about. I did a mix of their music recently. It went to #1 on the Chill Out chart, quite a lot of charts actually. But I've now got them placed in history because they became Melon, who were like one of the first Japanese hip-hop groups that I remember from the mid-80s. And I think I even saw them play in the mid-80s at Heron. And their big hit was Hardcore Hawaiian. You can go and look it up.
I remember that one as it goes. It was a Japanese guy rapping over a funky drummer with some like Hawaiian guitar. Hardcore Hawaiian. I remember, you probably turned me on to that.
Probably not, because I didn't know you in 1985. That's before we even met. We probably got it from the same source, and I don't know who that would have been. But there was no John Peel quite. Well, yeah, there was John Peel, 1985. Maybe I heard it on John Peel first. That's usually where you heard something first in the 70s or 80s. So when I go back to Japan, I'm going to look for some of these bands' records, but I've already seen the prices and I think I can't afford them, honestly. Well, if we're going to keep it in the Japanese mode, I'm going to play something from Kuniyuki-san. This is a housey mix. He's an excellent musician if you get a chance to catch him live. Kuniyuki Takahashi comes from Sapporo in the north of Japan. where it's snow for 5 months of the year. And there are lots of bears.
Okay, I finally worked out what I was doing wrong on the Resolume. Had a channel in solo and didn't recognise it. So I'm getting back with that now. Oh no, is that the lizard that got me busted? It might be. I think let me swiftly. Thought of a good track the other day, which was the truth actually. Looking for my 909, found my 303. Oh, by the way, our mutual good friend Arthur has now got our 909, which last week, only a week ago, no, it's 2 weeks ago, I booted it up and it immediately expired. It sounded great and then an hour later expired. Anyway, our man has got it and he's already got the schematics and he's gonna, he says he'll get it working better than ever. Okay, now we're gonna get this guy. Now we're gonna get this guy. There we go. Now we can have some mixology like that. Okay. Thanks for bearing with us, my pirates. As I say, I'm slightly I know. He already got the schematics. But I thought you said it just needed a power supply, the MKS. Yeah. So I don't know if Arthur's tuning in, but thanks for your help with our stuff, and we're going to be making some Sonic with that pretty soon, one would hope. Okay. Alright, let's have a quick scroll down who the pirates, if I squint I might be able to see them. Lotan Clan's there. Armando Funk, yes indeed. It's funny, I can see better without the glasses than with them. I am the Jason B, welcome there. Polska Zemkont, Ruffra as well. What did you say there, Ruffra? We're looking for something and can't find it. Then we should do what? Nice track. Bit of resizing going on here. Come on. Monitor on the go this week. Right, that's a bit more civilized. Yes indeed, Ruffra, what are you saying? If you're looking and searching for something, can't find it, look for something else. Pablo, Arthur's a very hard-working guy actually. He does tech support for the NHS. I don't know if he would repair an old synth. If you've got one, good synth repair experts are hard to find. Sweet Exorcist, Psych Jack and Clocks coming with crucial tracks, and some of R.H. Kirk's most brilliant psychedelia says Lotonic. Thank you.
Clonk was the follow-up Sweet Exorcist single that most people have forgotten about.
We might be actually, we could be able to let's bust it because I believe that Stuff on Wall is able to be played because it's on under the Merlin agreement. Let's see if we can dial that one up, Morris. Might even mix into this. Hi there, Rodai. Spectre of Groucho is in the house. Hi there, Nikolai. Welcome. Theo's in the house. Nice to see you on. Yeah, it was last night, Theo. We did some jamming on Endless, which was pretty decent. Chris 45 RPM's liking the track. And Dr. Deej, yeah, Scrittability have always been awesome, yeah. It was at the height of my sort of my early music career was getting reviewed in the NME with the Scrittability single. And that was when Dennis Bovell produced our first single as the Jazz Insects.
This week, apparently really good, played in Norwich last night. Yep.
It's just Green now, is it? Or who's it?
It's a full band with Rodri Marsden and another guy.
The guys from Hot Chip. Okay, good. Keep remixing it, keep living it.
Managed to be in both Squittypility and this heat, so I'm really quite jealous now.
Wicked. Let me just have a quick check through more who we've got tuning in. Nice one. You're glad to be with us there. I am the Jason. Coming thick and fast in the chat here. Hello, Studio Dice. DJ Fack. Yes, indeed. Great to see Mixmaster Morris rocking the old school original S4. This was a present, I believe, from Mel. What's his name? Mel. Thank you, Mel. Johnny Sod giving us some nice pink love there. Okay, over on Facebook. That was a chop. Hey there, William Taylor. You're very welcome. We should be providing some visuals and some sounds for the next couple of hours. And Mixmaster Morris's bottomless track knowledge, which will keep us entertained. Hey there, Loads Kitchen. Good evening to you. Georgios Paraglow, good evening.
You realise we just did a request? We actually played a request.
I've warmed to doing requests in my old age, actually. So, I mean, you can't have the excuse, well, I haven't got that anymore, have you? Because they say, yeah, what about Spotify?
Well, no, it's worse. They give you the phone and say, play it off my phone.
Democratisation of DJing, I think it's maybe not a bad thing. Especially with pirates who've got pretty good taste here and pretty good knowledge. So,
I think more interesting would be for the DJ to select 2 tunes and the audience to vote on which one goes next.
Okay.
You want to hear.
Well, I've been doing
it with their phones. I think that's kind of an interesting way of developing the club.
Cool. Well, as you know, Pirates have been doing some live remix challenges over the last few months.
£10 for a request, payable off your credit card.
I think we'd have to have a slightly bigger audience to make that worthwhile. So why should anyone pay us 10 quid when they can just get it or dial it themselves up for free? Yeah, I think the instant remix, we could charge 10 quid for that, but we'll keep it free.
In Las Vegas, you get like a $10,000 tip to play some EDM record,
Not from me, baby.
I genuinely haven't heard this for 29 years. I've not heard this mix for 30 years, so... This is Clonk's Coming. This is one of the remixes on the second Sweet Exorcist single.
Featuring the late, great Richard H. Kirk. Yeah. So we've been celebrating him a bit this evening, and maybe we can pick up a few more. Pimpernel Jones enjoying it, yes, the master. My man, Mixmaster Morris, probably my main musical inspiration as far as DJs goes. It's been keeping us crisp and fresh for more than 30 years. Okay, I might do a bit of... I have got quite a lot of news lined up here, actually. Has this gone through a little bit? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to delve into a bit of news. Stuck out for a minute. Let's get the news up. Yo. Oh, we've got 2 siphon clients, have we? That'll explain that. Chat feedback there in an infinite loop. Right, let's get into a bit of positive news and other things. This week we are hearing that a new report claims the end of coal power. New coal power is within sight worldwide, report claims. It's a nice picture of some horrible smoke for you there. And business green, whatever. Okay, so we'll take that for granted and we'll move on to the next bit of news, which is solid, but China... we're in test tone, wicked. China pledges to stop building new coal energy plants abroad, and that is big news, and I think...
There's 45 plants that are currently under construction funded by the Chinese. So they're probably going to have to stop those halfway through.
Well, luckily China's got the clout to be able to do that. They've been building massive projects in countries like Indonesia and Vietnam under the Belt and Road infrastructure project. But actually China has taken a leadership role there and decided to change policy. Apparently, let's see. Beaming into... I am cold cut. I'm playing it being cold cut. Music and the climate emergency. There is Professor Brian Cox, the wonderful Brian Eno, and Dr. Tamsin Edwards and Hannah Peel, outspoken campaigners for the climate emergency. And that is a sort of online event which will be going on tomorrow on Facebook Live. Do I have the... I can't easily post in a link to that, but that should be worth attending. And he used to be an enfant terrible, but he's getting a bit old for that. But I like him. Nigel Kennedy cancels concert after Classic FM stops Hendrix tribute. Apparently he wanted to do a version of a Hendrix number, and Classic FM said no, so he now calls them Jurassic FM. Culturally prejudiced decision amounted to musical segregation. Your comment, Morris?
I love Jurassic FM. Did you say racist much?
He intended to play some Hendrix with Chinique. Oh, I know them. They're a wicked orchestra of young black and ethnically diverse musicians. So he was told the rock star was not suitable for the desired audience. Preferred him to play Vivaldi's Four Seasons. Musical segregation, if we applied to people, it would be illegal. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think Classic FM should be allowed to keep it classical, or is it too narrow-minded of them?
I think they just have a narrow-minded... I'm not going to call them all racist, but they don't play much black music on Classic FM, do they?
I think they could probably try harder on that regard as well. Yeah.
I mean, Radio 3 at least are making an effort to have Julius Eastman week. So it'd be nice to see Classic FM do that. Or at least have any black composers on.
Yeah. Indeed.
Because I don't like this attitude that people who went to university and have degrees in music and somehow their music is more valid than that made by everybody else. And, classical music is very stuffy, and I support Nigel Kennedy's attempts to democratise it a little bit.
It's funny actually, because yesterday I was having tea with my auntie, and we were talking about music, and she said that music means something completely different to her than it does to me. And when we delved into this a bit, she basically meant that to her, music is classical music. That's pretty much it. That's what she's into and considers music. But I don't think she'd rule that to stop other people listening to other types of music.
In 1870, music was classical music, but we've moved on a bit since then.
Nigel Kennedy is the best-selling violinist of all time.
Let's stoke the pot. They have a very Eurocentric view of music, that only white European music's important. And also that it's somehow superior in some unspecified way to any music from any other part of the world. And I just think it shows, a gross lack of awareness about the rest of the world. And really, European music is not all the music in the world. And there are huge parts of the world where music's entirely different.
So even something that's a sort of siloed as Classic FM, we would say has some duty to sort of embrace diversification and show that it's not just that white domination culture that can be classical music. And when does classical music stop, I wonder? What year?
It seems to stop when black people started writing it.
Ouch. Well, anyway, we mentioned Julius Eastman there.
Scott Joplin, not classical music.
My sister used to play a mean ragtime, as it goes. Julius Eastman, I must say, is an artist, avant-garde black composer that I've become aware of recently, and in fact, it's almost knocked off music creating musicians. That's my number one piece of music of all time. His piece Feminine, which came out a year before music creating musicians, in fact, there's somewhat a spooky resemblance to it. Well, it's a fantastic avant-garde full-length piece. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next news item. But basically, we're siding with Nigel on that one. Apparently, look, there's Richard H. Kirk turning up there in the trending on music tech. What do you think about this? Fender X-Mo-Fi Precision Deck is meticulously built $3,500 turntable inspired by the Precision bass. I think that is V-thin stuff probably. But moving over here, we see that vinyl sales have had a 94% increase this year, with Generation Z buying more than millennials. Overall sales have hit $467 million of vinyl. Damn. Wow. Next tune, Mixmaster. What have we got lined for us up? That's up next. What's this?
This is Gigi Massin from Venice, who is a wonderful ambient composer who's suddenly been discovered by the world, and unlike Julius Eastman, he's still around to enjoy the fruits of his labours. Because I remember in the 1980s he made great music that nobody bought, but now everyone in Ibiza has discovered him, and seems to be going well for him.
What's the name again?
Gigi Massin.
Gigi Massin.
Gigi Massin.
That sounds rather beautiful. Okay, just what have we got anymore? Okay, we've done the vinyl there. I think that. Well, let's have one more item. Oh, well, yes. I gotta say, Michaela Cole is a show-enough new wave genius, and Dinny and I watched the full series of I May Destroy You. And big up the BBC for putting something pretty fucking hardcore on mainstream BBC. And highly recommend that to anyone who hasn't seen it. But it's a tough watch, but a necessary one. Well, we should check out her speech, actually. Write the tale that scares you, that makes you feel uncertain, that isn't comfortable. That woman is a serious genius, trust me. And she also stars in that show. Let's just gaze on her for a minute. What do you say, Mixmaster?
I May Destroy You. It sounds like it ought to be the new Iron Maiden album or something.
It's a pretty hardcore title, isn't it?
Yeah. Currently the biggest film in Japan. The title is Let Me Eat Your Pancreas.
That's a favourite factoid of yours at the moment, I would say. All right, one more item. What we got here? Yeah, let's slag off Facebook a bit. Leaks just exposed how toxic Facebook and Instagram are to teen girls. This is their own research, Facebook's own research. It's toxic to everyone. The company's own research reveals that Instagram harms teens, that it can't control anti-vax misinformation, and that there is a secret double standard for VIPs. In short, the problem with Facebook is Facebook. Yeah, well, basically they've been facing enough criticism over the last few years. The most pervasive digital social platform in human history distorts our world, promotes destructive behaviour ranging from eating orders to genocide. In response, Zuckerberg and his staff frequently pronounce commitments to reform, which sound as if they're sincere but don't actually seem to be doing very much at all. Facebook maintains a private registry of very important people, including celebrities and politicians, who are exempt from the strict content posting rules that govern the rest of us. Motherfuckers. So, yeah. Duplicitous. Go on.
Okay, well, this week there's a biography of Peter Thiel, who's the founder of PayPal, and in it says that Thiel and Trump and Kushner and Zuckerberg all had a dinner together, at which basically Zuckerberg promised not to fact-check Trump or the Republican Party in exchange for them promising not to make any legislation that forces them to.
Jesus, it's just absolutely all too plausible, isn't it? It is all too plausible. Okay, alright, that is the first tranche of news here on Pirate TV. I'm going to turn off that web page. And in a minute I might play a little video and catch our breath for a sec. Let's get back on the Brio. Say hi to everyone for a moment.
The owner of Palantir,
Who is the owner? Thiel. Peter Thiel's the owner of Palantir, the international surveillance, sort of the eye of Sauron, basically, I think is a fair description, wouldn't you say?
yeah, the company that swings elections like the Brexit election.
I thought that was Cambridge Analytica.
That's a subset of, that's a subsidiary of Palantir. Check that.
I'm not sure that's absolutely correct, but they're definitely of a piece. Of a piece. So, where's my Resolute gone? A bit of that. Okay. Taking a moment to check out the Pirates in the Place. Nice track. Sorry if we're talking too much, but hopefully it's not too boring, and well, Morris is fascinating, and we like getting to hang out a bit. You can tell us if we're waffling on too much. Okay. Quick hug going out to Viz Mistress Denny, my partner and loved one. She is attending an event where she's up for an award of Asian Women's Foundation, women who've had a big impact. So I should be getting a bulletin of, she may even have got the award, not that that's necessarily what's so important, but she's put her sari on and swan down there. So fingers crossed for Viz Mistress D to get extra bit of recognition there. I'm going to just do a bit of video mixing for a minute actually. So keep it chilled. Composition.
Palantir are actually partners in the NHS Contact app, which I didn't know. Look at the conspiracy mongers.
Delete. Next tune, Mixmaster. So chilled we're all falling asleep. It's perking up a bit. What's this?
Lloydis. This is, I love this record. This is a record from about a year ago by Huerco S, who I think is a New Yorker who lives in Berlin. And it's just wonderful. It's 3-track EP, and the 3 tracks add up to about 40 minutes. And they're all like this but different. And it's wonderful, lose your mind music.
Loving it.
My favourite record in this genre the last couple of years, I think.
What's the artist name again?
Lloydis, which is the Roman name for Leeds.
How do you spell it?
Loidis.
Well, peeps, we're getting an education in some new music tonight. Hopefully we're not going to get closed down whilst we are enjoying these nice vibrations. Hey there, Sinam. Yes, the elder vampire of Silicon Valley. We're reporting, talking about Thiel there, maybe. Are you guys getting the Peter Thiel blood transfusions or no? Says No Baboon. We're rumbled. Wait a sec. I have to turn on the thing. It's truth straight to your Cortex Pirate TV Wednesday night. We love you all. Sauna A, hi there. Pirate TV para siempre. Gracias, Sauna. Buyers Dramatizer. Thank you for your new pack, Buyers Dramatizer. I think I'm probably going to mainly let Morris rock it this week, actually, so I won't be doing much jamming because it's really good and it's special and a bit nice and different. Hello there, Georgina Brett. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Yes, thanks, Buyers. Hope she wins it. And Lucas Bollinger. Konnichiwa. Senior Bollinger. Good stuff. Pixie Cosmos, I don't know if you got to see last week, I played some of your video clips which you kindly sent in. Everyone out there, you know we love a bit of signal. You can send us too. You can give us a bit of signal. You can give us a bit of signal. On Pirate TV. jampro1000@gmail.com will reach us. Different view there. Let's go back to this. I know what that is. Persistent. Gotta have a bit of persistence. Yes. I've made it persistent. Now I can just mix this down a little bit. Hard left. Lourdis sounds of love it. Grok 23. Actually, I don't know about these Peter Thiel blood transfusions. I thought you were talking about his vampire tendencies in general terms. Do you mean we can buy blood transfusions now? Is that a new bit of news that slipped through? You know anything about that?
Rich Americans have been having blood transfusions for decades. Howard Hughes used to have them.
I mean, I did have my thoughts about Keith Richards, to be quite honest. It has been scientifically shown that... Thank you, Jeff. I naughtily didn't drink my tea because I was too busy. Now I'm going to have a little cuppa. I'll raise a cuppa to all you pirates out there. Hope you've got a nice cuppa of something wherever you are.
Keith Richards might be like Trigger's balloon that so many bits have been replaced.
Yeah, it has been scientifically shown that plasma from young people can give you a great health boost. So I'm sure... I remember my son actually, when I explained that some people sell their blood. What, you can shop blood? Yes, you can. People sell blood.
It's not. You don't donate it in America like you do in England. You sell it. Don't you? You get it for money. It's against the law in England to charge money for blood donation. But in America, it's a common way that people make money by selling blood.
Do people donate blood for free as well?
No, I shouldn't think so. It's America, isn't it?
There you go, peeps. Alright.
White blood.
The Republicans say, no, come on, that's a bit vicious. Republicans say...
I mean, I've heard of that happening. Republicans in hospital, close to death, saying, I don't want any, N-word blood.
Only want nice white blood. Pixie Cosmos, glad you saw your clips there. I might see if I can dial them up again. Maybe they're on the misc. Yeah. Yes. Pixie, we're going to have a bit of your lovely butterflies now. Nice clip. Not much mixing going on here, Mixmaster. It's more what we call the slurping technique. More of a chop. We'll let you off.
This is
yeah, I'll let you off.
Called Nick Betch, and his band is called Ronin, and they've now signed to ECM Records, the legendary Munich jazz label. So
it's good if ECM is putting out cool modern music, so they're still awake. I wasn't sure, actually. I didn't know that.
I think Manfred Eicher's still alive at the age of, he's in his 80s, and
he's the founder, is he?
Yeah, he's still the founder, and he's still signing acts, and this act really deserves to get a bigger audience, so I'm glad that ECM have picked them up. And in fact, he was featured on a lot of polls for like best jazz newcomer last year, so it's good, because I've been into this guy for about sort of 8 to 10 years now, and he actually said when he started, my major influences are Steve Reich and James Brown, and I aim to fuse the two.
Oh right. I'm gonna give up or get on the same tip. That's a great quote. That's a great quote.
Steve Reich and James Brown in this particular one.
I hear what he's getting at. I do. Yeah. Manual synchronization going on these video clips. Some sync. Check out the sync. It was my great pleasure to attend two rather good audiovisual events on Saturday and Sunday. The first was with Tom Middleton at the Jazz Cafe, and he premiered his new project. Global Communications has now become Galactic Communications, and with a set featuring a harpist, a rather good poet on the mic, a cellist, and Tom, and then visuals depicting sort of sci-fi themed mankind's trip out to the exoplanets. Stuart Warren Hill was down there, Mr. Hexstatic. Morris played a wicked set. Maybe you're saying so you've had to quickly change tracks because you suddenly realised it's the Jazz Cafe.
Yeah, about 20 minutes from the end, I thought. I mean, I made a plan with Tom that I was going to play nearly all his own stuff and some influences. And again, I just thought it's a bit. It wasn't very balanced, and we needed some black influences in there too. And it is the Jazz Cafe, so I put Farrah Sanders on. And who's going to stop me? The thing about the Jazz Cafe is you get regulars who are members who come in regularly and have dinner down there. Haven't necessarily come for what's on this evening.
You're rocking on the mic. No, good point, and I'm glad that you did make that statement as well. That was a really great evening, and I think we can exclusively reveal the follow-up to the evening now, actually, which was that we signed a deal with a fantastic artist for an album on Ahead of Our Time. In fact, a 3-album deal, and the artist is Mixmaster Morris, Irresistible Force. We're going to be expecting new recorded works from him to be released on John's and my Ahead of Our Time imprint via Ninja Tune. And have we started yet?
No, of course not.
Delivery date January the 1st, guys.
January 1st. I'm already thinking about it.
Yeah, so that was pretty exciting. We're pretty jazzed about that. So that is big news. You heard it first. Well, you might probably heard it first on a little tweet from Morris, but officially you heard it first here on Pirate TV. Yes, indeed. Thank you for your congratulations there, Pirates. Nice one. ECM became a bit sleepy for a while, says Georgina. Yeah, well, even Ninja Tune has had, let's say, ups and downs, natural cycles, natural rhythms of energy. But I'm overjoyed to hear that ECM are still active and on the edge. So if you're not on the edge, you're probably taking up too much space. Second amazing gig of the weekend was down at Eclectic in Waterloo, which is a rather wonderful, funky little arts venue. And my very good friend Blanca Regina organised a night down there, and she did a live set with the wonderful Rubin from Scalpel taking her voice and live looping it. And then it was the turn of Chris Allen, the light surgeon, and his partner Tim, I'm not sure his second name, was doing the music, and they did their new piece called Atemporal. It's like a full-length, film-length audio-visual piece on a really good, strong theme, using the words of one John, name's gone blank, Belger, can't remember.
Pilger?
No, it wasn't. Anyway, I'll come back to you in a moment on that one, but it was really good, and big up the light surgeons. It was composition, choice of material, AV sync, theme, spot on, and actually done live, mixed live on VDMX. I was well impressed. So that was two great audiovisual events this weekend. It's really nice to be back in London and getting to hang out. Strictly Kev was down there, lots of other old heads, new and young heads. Yeah, if you're in London, Eclectic, check it out. It's IKELCTRIK, I believe, something like that.
Right by St Thomas's Hospital.
Right next to St Thomas's Hospital in the back streets of Waterloo. Wicked. One sec. Look, we're all at sea. We're in the clouds. Nice. Sorry, what were you saying?
Carrying on with things slightly to the left of jazz, this is Colin Stetson, which is an artist that Jeff's a big fan of.
He's a sax player, yes. In fact, Jeff from Ninja Tune, Jeff Way, turned me on to him. He's an amazing avant-garde artist. Does quite a lot of film soundtracks, gets these amazing drones.
Massive following, really popular, and kind of in a sort of world of his own, and does circular breathing. So
Colin Stetson, right? Yeah. Far out. Hey there, Charlie Finn. Yes, I agree. What it is definitely what it is. What else could it be? Good to hear. Looking forward to Irresistible Force album. The Chaoist. That's a name I haven't seen pop up there in the chat. Welcome. He's just saying, was just playing It's Tomorrow Already as part of my lockdown record Cleaning Odyssey. Nice. Yeah, I've seen copies of that going on Discogs.
while we're talking about reissues, Flying High is on the way as a reissue from the wonderful label We Release Whatever the Fuck We Want Records. And before that, a live album of Irresistible Force and Ramjack recorded in 1990 at the Brain Club, which is coming out pretty imminently, I think.
And that's Paul Ramjack. He's a good friend of mine as well, was at school with Morris, and he is a regular jammer on Pirate TV over the last couple of decades. So we're going to be getting him down here with Morris and maybe doing a live set down here. And basically, I think I might have said this, but here I am in Space Lab in Old London town, my studio, and having been locked up, sort of isolated rather in the country, Dinny and I are loving London and being amongst people a bit more. And I want to set the studio up again and get doing some live jamming from down here, which is what Pirate TV was originally, actually, in Space Lab, live audio-visual jams. So, going to be inviting some more guests down here. Big up to Jessica Lauren, who I spoke to yesterday, Morris.
Oh, yeah.
And she's living in Botany Bay. Yes, near Margate. God, I love the filters on this Pioneer, so creamy. And it looks pretty nice out in Botany Bay, actually. So it's like the Caribbean, except not so hot. I'm sent this fantastic picture of the beaches there. So I propose that you and I jump on the train and go down with her and visit her, and get her on the roads and record some stuff. Last time we saw her was?
I think the last time I saw her was in Goa, at the Big Chill Goa, where she played before me, and it was something like 43 degrees centigrade, and the stage had no roof, so we were literally shriveling up under the heat like raisins.
I was there as well. That was my intro. Yeah, delirious is the word. But I invited Jessica to join us actually for a Cold Cut headline set on the last night, which was with Attila and The Essence and local psychedelic rock musicians and Ramo Hernandez, and that was pretty damn epic. And that reminds me that a wonderful sighting of Katrina Larkin, one of the founders of the original Big Chill, was at your gig the other day. Yeah, really nice to see her. Katrina, if you get this message, we love you, and it was really good to see you. See you at the next Nexus. This track is a test, says Rough Rye. Yes, exactly. We're tested. Lots.
This track is the late Joe Zawinul from Weather Report.
Right. Well, it's. I wonder, are we actually still live on Facebook? No, we're still getting away with it so far, by the look of it. Yes, indeed. You have to take the mic. Let me do this.
Joe Zawinul actually wrote In a Silent Way, which a lot of people think Miles Davis wrote. Joe Zawinul wrote it. Yes. And he did his own version of it, which is about a quarter the length of Miles's one, but says just as much. If you haven't got it, In a Silent Way, probably my favourite Miles Davis album, probably my favourite cover of his as well. This cover's nearly all black with just these eyes staring out. I was lucky enough to see Miles Davis on his last gig in London at the Hammersmith Odeon about the time that Tutti came out, so 82 or 83, which is the last album before he died. He died while Doo-Wop was the posthumous album, which is the one where hip-hop people worked on the album and everyone was really upset about it.
I'm trying to remember that I had one of the late albums I was really into. Sort of pink cover, is it? We'll have to look them up. Well, I didn't know that Joe Zawinul wrote In a Silent Way. It's pretty amazing.
He wrote it for the session. He wrote it for Miles.
See, this is classical music, isn't it? What's the cut-off between this and classical music? I can't tell.
I think being a white person, then it's being played by white people on instruments, they probably have no. Classic FM would have no problem with it.
Ooch. I was watching the Blue Note documentary, which was excellent, a couple of months ago, and I think it was Herbie Hancock who said that actually he didn't like the term jazz, he preferred the term black classical music, which I thought was quite a telling comment.
Jazz is black classical music.
Well, I hadn't heard actually anyone explicitly say that. I thought it was good to hear that voice. That
Miguel Atwood Ferguson put on this series of concerts with Mochila where they deliberately got an orchestra to play music composed by great black artists. And one night was Charlie Parker, and the second night was Dilla, and the third night, actually, I don't know who the artist was.
Yeah, you have to watch out though. That sounds good, but you also get what I call the strings gravitas conceit, which is like you get any old bollocks kind of house music and then get some sort of orchestra to play it and pretend that actually it means something, which just because a bunch of people dress up nicely and get expensive instruments to play it doesn't mean it's good. Am I wrong?
Well, the bollocks, but the people behind that are the Heritage Orchestra. And
no, don't. We're not going to say any explicit examples. Yeah.
That Jules Buckley commits, he does a good deed for the world, and so we're about even.
Good observation.
Musicians have got to make a living.
Musicians have got to make a living as well, yeah. This is the original of In a Silent Way. We're going to get busted for this, for sure. How far can we push it out? We'll see. I think if I put sort of... Play it backwards, man. So can't you play backwards? Hit the reverse button. She sounds pretty good. Get arrested for blasphemy for doing this, you know.
Joe Looney was.
So what?
Joe Looney was. That's that one.
Distorting out a little bit. Throwing that back in. Wednesday night, just kicking back with Mixmaster Morris on Pirate TV. Hope you're enjoying a slightly different type of set this week. Okay, we may have got busted on Facebook. Let's have a quick look. No, it seems that we're still going. If you're on Facebook, give us some signal. See if we're still receiving it, please. What's this?
This is the outstanding tall black guy from Detroit who's been living in London, living in the UK for the last few years, but gone back to Detroit now. And he made one album on First Word Records, I think, called 8 Miles to Monet, from which this track is taken. Rain Into the Night, this is the longest track. But for all sort of ninja heads and beat makers, really recommend this album, because this guy is like on another level with his beat making, and he definitely didn't buy any beats for $5 to make this record.
Have a little bit of extra visual stimulation going on there. Didn't manage to get this plugged up this week. This is Pixie. Yeah, Tall Black Guy. I remember you turned us on to him a few years ago as a possible sign for Ninja Tune, and we slept on it, unfortunately, but I like it.
He was just a kid at home, and he entered a remix competition for Robert Glasper, and he won the competition, and that was like his first break. And the mix he did for Robert Glasper is so outrageous. It's breathtaking. Like the beats are like completely on another level.
Can we pull that shit up? Let's have a listen to that. Yeah, lots of love for Tall Black Guy going on in the chat here. I can't work out what's going on Facebook. It says it's live. I'm going to refresh it and see what happens. It does look like it's happening there on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, do drop us a comment there. Next track.
Okay, this is the aforementioned remix by Tall Black Guy of Robert Glasper tune. It was like a radio competition a few years ago. I don't remember this intro, but I'm sure it's the same track. Here we go. Yeah.
So this one in the competition, did it?
Yeah, it did.
Let's take some notes.
Head back to the beginning of time. No, nothing, nowhere, or no one to find. We follow moonlight.
Very.
Taste the sun, searching for a piece of mind. Searching for a silver light. Stop, turn, look, and see. Pause, breathe, run.
Right, our video is blocked. It can't be viewed in 249 locations. Right, let me see if I can get Facebook restarted.
Turn.
Okay, the music's wigging out. Love it. We're battling here. Twitch, thanks for staying with us. I'm going to change up the visuals now, so we have quite a bit of that. Little tap. 2, 3, 4, and 1, and yeah. Yeah, that Tall Black Guy track was absolutely spot on. Just amazing. Callum, if you're listening, we're going to have another look at the Facebook side of things because it's not working how we thought. I can't actually see if it's on or not. Okay, it seems that Facebook is actually up again. Apologies for the outage there. I think playing the Miles Davis was probably a copy too far for the AI bots out there. And for some reason I can't see the chat. Maybe I'll log in as something else. Let me try that.
Miles Davis was on Prestige in the early 60s, Prestige Records, and Columbia really wanted him, so they offered him a load of money to leave Prestige. And the label said, but you still owe us 4 albums. So he said, right, fine. And he went in the studio and recorded 4 albums in a day. And those albums are still selling to this day. He literally did finished, wrote, completed, mastered, massive albums. You should always say that to bands when they say, we need 3 months to do it.
I'm going to say that to you.
I'm not Miles Davis.
Well, I don't know. Well, deadlines concentrate the mind. Take the mic again. I'm just still working on getting the string going.
I could also recommend Miles Davis' autobiography, but at the end of it, you will probably feel a lot less sympathetic because he was a thoroughly nasty man, especially to women for most of his life. And some of the stories are really quite shocking. And it's like, if I'd done those things, I wouldn't write about them. Because he was terrible he was so coked up his head for about 20 years that he would meet famous musicians and steal their instruments and sell them for drugs, and they couldn't say anything because it was Miles Davis. So it's really tragic.
It does seem that I think it was Bruce Sterling who said something along the lines of he's never met anyone with a serious creative talent who doesn't also have some kind of cavernous emotional needs. And I hope it's not true. But yeah, genius, Miles Davis. He's a bit of a monster, let's face it. Did you see Kind of Blue? The Birth of the Cool, the documentary? First-rate documentary. And Betty Davis makes quite an appearance, actually. She was a significant factor in his life. It turned him on to that kind of the new psychedelia. And also, I think, radicalised him into black politics significantly.
She should be on his sleeves, and Cicely Tyson insisted on being on the sleeves, and it was a really novel thing for a record company to put a black woman on the sleeve of anything.
Yeah, he dug in his heels over that actually, didn't he? So that was good. All right. Byers Dramatizers saying, please reissue it's tomorrow already. Well, I tell you what, I could maybe lean on my ninjas to do that actually.
Yay!
Yeah. So actually, Morris and I have got another pretty cool project which is going to be out first, and in fact the first iteration's out already, and that is the At Zero ambient project, and that we can now actually announce some of the artists that are on it. We have done a compilation album of all new exclusive. Let's say hello again. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what, just fade us down a little bit psychedelic like that. Yeah, we've done a compilation of all new exclusive ambient tracks. 0 Beats, At Zero it's called, and we are doing that as a benefit for mental health, because we think that ambient music is a good thing to help you relax, chill out, meditate, make love, dream and bathe, and all funky good activities. As Morris said, it's time to lie down and be counted. And that is coming out initially on the Calm relaxation app. And confusingly, I can tell you a story actually. We were thinking of approaching Calm, the charity, which are the campaign against living miserably. And I got an intro from Ninja Tune, but it was a crossed line, and I got introduced instead to Calm, the app. So I thought, well, let's see if they'd be interested in it. And in fact, we ended up doing a deal with them. And so the first release of the At Zero project is on Calm, the app, with a 10-track mix. And then Morris and I put our heads together and have come up with a full 76-minute full ambient rub with 29 tracks on, and it's going to be released on ahead of our time shortly. And
Calm, the artist, of course, who is a good friend of mine, who's a Japanese DJ, who is resident at Sunset the Marina, is my favourite ambient club in Japan.
we could have a triple Calm ambient confusion, why not? Okay, for next time. Actually, Morris and I have also been making a list of excellent friends and peeps that we'd like to collaborate with, so we're going to be keeping busy making new music for the foreseeable future, and also possibly engaging some help from Chris Allen, Light Surgeon, to do a film for the full 76-minute rub. And
call it Karma.
Why not? Calm and Karma. So I've got my Pixie app working a little bit better. Anyone out there who codes open frameworks and can do some Swift or Objective-C to get it working on iOS, ping me, I need your help. This is our visual synthesizer. I'll get it plugged up again next week. Basically, like Jam, it's a touch-controlled toy for trippers. Okay, remind me what we're listening to here, Mixmaster.
This is a track from it's the Tatum, Mensa, Lord and Ranks album. It's Kylie Tatum and Digo from 4Hero and two of their mates, and there is actually a new album from three of these guys out this week, a Lord and Ranks album, but I think no Kylie this time.
West London Broken Beat finally getting a bit more of a moment in the sunshine.
Absolutely, and I think after 20 years it's now part of the rich tapestry of music, as opposed to the absolute shock and disbelief it used to provide. 20 years ago, people would just stand there with their mouths open when you played records by these guys, but I think people have got into it now. And 20 years ago, the Japanese were totally into this music, and like a handful of people in New York, a handful in West London, but you know, it was really, really small. But thanks to the support of people like Giles and other parts of it.
Oh, and yourself, Morris. You've been boosting that music for 20 years. I absolutely know that.
But now it's classic, and I notice I go to events in South London, and you know, people really expect some Bruck. Really got a mixed audience that they love it because it's rhythmically a lot more exciting.
Did you say Bruck?
Yeah, Bruck, because that's what IT Culture says now instead of broken beat. There's now a band called the Afro Bruck Band.
Bruck, I like it. It's short and sweet, and rhymes with fuck. So it's all good. Bruck you very much indeed. Yeah. How are we doing? Well, I haven't played any of the little videos. I was going to play. Actually, I'm going to play one short, totally inappropriate video. I could play this, couldn't I? I was going to switch us off if I do that though.
There's a new Greenpeace advert the last few days where a guy eats a fish and it's full of plastic bags.
Nasty. Yeah, okay. Well, maybe we'll get back on the video tip next week. I'm enjoying Mixmaster actually. I think let's have an exclusive diet of this fantastic music, and we'll leave our little videos and stuff. Let me just... let's have a pause from the rabbit. I'm going to do some video mixing. Alright. Let's go into the tunnel. Georgina Miles Davis movie I saw, the doc was called The Birth of the Cool.
amongst few. Government. Government. Just get the weed from Epicon. Link time car Barbican. Buck to gal we American. Run the place like Elephant Man. Take time like Skeleton. Me never forward from London. Son of David Radigan. Run the place like Elephant Man. She's
rich and hot like any con man. Gun pan belly DMX stop man. Ride round town pan me little scooter van. Run the place like Elephant Man. Go water house go link war 21. Bust out your jelly like coconut man. Left red and white like polka dot man. Run the place like Elephant Man.
touching at the street, man, a icon. Girl inna me car, girl inna me van. Coulda black girl, coulda white one. Run the street like Elephant Man. Big bright link pa me right hand. Watch your Rolex pa me left one. Big gold chain pa me chest and run the place like Elephant Man.
Get some thick hot girl like Steph London. Jump on pan her like me a Spider-Man. Spread it out wide, make it get wider and run the place like Elephant Man. Drink a one dragon stout and water and this elephant you get a big brata and cup on the hill go link me big daughter Pam. Run the place like Elephant Man.
180-degree change of style. What's made you put this one on?
This is the very hot band Equinox from Jamaica. The hottest thing happening in Jamaica at the moment, and seem to have made an unlikely friend of their producer Time Cow, whose name I've always loved. I think the thing that's different with this band is they don't come from Kingston. They live in the centre of the island, up a mountain with lots of ganja plants. Long way away from all the bad business that goes on in the cities in Jamaica.
It's quite an interesting combination. The vocal is quite sort of threatening, and then you've got this really quite lushed up, almost chill ragga.
It's not like anything I've heard from Jamaica before. I'm going to put a couple of their more recent dubs on as well. I've just done a mix of all their recent stuff, and that's on my Mixcloud account. Equinox, and they've got a new album out right now that's called Basic Tools Mixtape, and they had two albums previously, like 3 or 4 years ago, that were pretty big hits, but very strange music. I couldn't quite get my head around the first two records, but now I think it's getting better. They got more people in their crew now, I think.
How much time do you spend listening to new music per day?
Oh, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 hours. You could do 24 hours and you couldn't get to the end of it. As we were discussing, there's 20 million songs a year on Spotify.
You're not going to run out, yeah, but it's the quality control, isn't it? Well, I must say this is a wicked production. Beautiful space.
Run the place like Elephant Man. Run the place like Elephant Man. Run the street like Elephant Man. Run the place like Elephant Man. Run the place like Elephant Man. Run the place like Elephant Man.
This is Equinox as well, I take it. It's another one from Equinox.
Actually, it's credited to Feel 3 Hi-Fi, but it's just the dub version on the B-side. This, I think, is a Time Cow solo project. I think all the members of Equinox are now making solo projects. One of them is called something like Gaviscom, but that's an indigestion.
So this is pretty exciting. It's really good new rude music. Yeah.
What this band to my attention was about 4 years ago. Time Cow made a cassette called Glacial Dancehall, and I just thought, what's a great title, Glacial Dancehall, I want to find that. So I got the tape, which is very good, and the tape was so hot that it's now changing hands for about £300 or £400. So that's when you know you've made a good mixtape, when people are outbidding each other for hundreds of pounds for a copy of it.
It's also quite unusual for a mixtape to actually. You mean it was literally a tape?
Set, yeah. It's 45 minutes each from him, and Low Jack is on the other side. They're both really mad. Take the format for this one.
Love it. Still rocking it, still letting us get away with it, you know, it's good. Wednesday Night Pirate TV, across the track, sign-ups to sign-ups, we are connected musically and otherwise. Quick check over into the chat, big up the people tuning in all around the world. Give us a shout where your signal's from. Really abstract. This is wicked, man. Another fantastic Morris spot here. Equinox crew from Jam Down. He's a youth, actually. Often says if you want to hear what's really going on with rhythms, listen to what's coming out of Jamaica. Yes. Good point. Drop it. Okay, once more peering into the screen. Hi there, Lotan Clan. Equinox it is, that is right. Armando's Funk, yeah, just looking them up on Bandcamp. See Morris, the vibes are spreading, popularising good music. Hi there, Olive, enjoying it. Lots of love in the chat. Dream Fresh, yay. And Cohen, good to see you there. Nice, thanks for joining in last night. Hi there, Neliado, some regular pirates in the rigging once more. See Kenzo. Decent Fresh. Sorry, excuse my pronunciation, I can only see a few letters here. Into incipient ongoing. Awesome. I know this one. I know this one. Might have to do. Oh no, of course, Tract hasn't got the neural isolator, has it? As wide as it? Pass the cup. And over there we've got Giorgio Menzies. Madrid in the house. Buenas tardes. Hello, Jorge. Definitely from Planet Earth is Loic's Kitchen, fair enough. Rodigan Style from Tony Wells. Yes, indeed, the signal is here. Yeah, a weird wormhole. Hey, Brian Jackson, how you doing? Better keep telling us in the chat if it's live because they might cut us off. No, looking good. Still rolling in. Hi there, Mark. Pointer, welcome. Dope tunes, thank you, mate. Paul Reynolds, rubber dub in the place. We like it. Great track.
A great article by Mark Stewart from the pop group. Of course, the pop group have now got a dub album of their own, produced by Dennis Bevell.
Dennis Bevell produced our first record, Plug. Yes, it's rather good.
Rather good. YN dub, it's on Mute Records, I think. But he also did a chart last month in the paper of his 10 favourite dub records, and I must say they were all new to me, so I downloaded them all and I've got a playlist of those, so we'll have one of those next.
Dennis Bevell's personal dub selection, or? Mark Stewart's. We did actually support the pop group when I was in the Jazz Insects at Scamps a million years ago, which was pretty cool. I think they just thought we were a load of like Oxbridge privileged students and we're not much cop, but we had a good time.
Pop group around, this is about 79, 80, is it? They were so awesome live, I wouldn't have liked to have been on any kind of bill with them.
We didn't have to prove anything in those days, we were nowhere.
I think they got booked to support Patti Smith on tour, and after a couple of nights they chucked them off because basically they're getting much better response than the headliner.
Say again?
They got kicked off a big tour, I remember. I'm not quite sure who the artist was because they were just simply too good and like, nobody wanted to go on after them.
It was a whole movement though, wasn't it? That sort of, it wasn't actually called punk funk, but it could have been. It could have been. Maximum Joy, Rip Rig and Panic, Certain Ratio.
Yes. But well, the first two of those bands were ex-members of the pop group, so.
Pig Bag.
Maximum Joy was Dan Katris, who was the bass player in the pop group after the original bass player left. Rip Rig and Panic was Gareth from the pop group, and Bruce
supported them as well.
Yeah, and Bruce Smith, and Nana Cherry was the original vocalist.
Yep.
And I once saw them play with Don Cherry on trumpet as well, which I think only happened once at the first Futurama festival. Correction, the first WOMAD festival.
Wonderful. A life well spent in music.
It lost so much money that Genesis had to reform in order to pay for the debt.
Oh, Morris, we love you. Pass the cup, come on now. What's this actually? Build out that last one. You can never go back, you're going to tell me. Because it sounds like a dub version, instrumental of Pass the Cup by Aswad. Pass the dub, there you go. Is this, are we into Dennis Bevell are we into Mark Stewart's dub selection, yeah? Okay. Changing it once more. Pirate TV. This is Rocking of the 5,000.
Lloydie Slim, I've not come across that.
Who's on the desk for the sound?
King Tubby.
King Tubby.
let's unite and be free. For our love is so true and our love is so pure and love is something that you must endure. So widen your thought and try to live good in your neighborhood. Mercy,
Dub up a little bit more news, positive news. From the wonderful magazine Positive News, what went right this week? This beautiful picture here. Indigenous climate wins. Indigenous resistance helped slash emissions, says a report. Indigenous resistance to fossil fuel projects in North America has prevented emissions equivalent to 400 coal-fired power plants from entering the atmosphere in the last decade. Combined, the Shell projects would have belched out the equivalent of 25% of the US and Canada's annual emissions. Indigenous communities resisting oil, gas and coal projects across their territory are demonstrating. Demonstrating true climate leadership. Respecting and honouring the wisdom and sovereignty of Indigenous peoples. I know what I need to do, so there, that's better, just a touch. Is a key solution to the climate crisis. Hear, hear. This was some signal from Masahiro Kahata last week. This was a festival in Berlin with a provocative title, Human Electricity. I could maybe... What would happen if I play this without any sound? What will happen? It was quite mad. Regret this, let's try it. I have no idea if that's working or not. The list of all the artists there, including Kahata. That festival's been and gone, but I must say it looked rather good. Respect to anyone in Berlin who went to that. Looks great. Study links too much free time to lower sense of well-being. Well, yes, balance in it. Subjective well-being drops off after about 5 hours of chilling. No, I can't accept it. Morris is laughing. We say it's time to lie down and be counted.
You know, in China, there's a new social movement in China. Advise was my pronunciation, something like Tang Peng. Something like Tang Peng. It means lie down, basically. It's a generation who've decided that they just want to lie down and don't want to go to work.
Well, we were reporting last week on that thing 996, that so many people work 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. 6 days a week in China. So some lying down, some chill out would be highly desirable.
Well, they have nets outside the factories where they make the iPhones. They have nets across the windows, so if you jump out, then you just bounce back in to
bounce back straight into your seat at the bench. Yeah. This was quite a cool little thing. So I've seen something like this, but you can turn any surface into a touch screen using sort of one projector with a camera underneath it. Since the advent of the smartphone, the use of touch to interact with digital content is becoming ubiquitous. Blah blah blah. Clever optical trick. Yeah, well, good for installations. Now it's interesting that Bojo, the UK's alleged Prime Minister, has been making some pretty strong pro-environmental noises this week. But as we know, he's a well-known liar. Don't really believe anything he's saying. But he is making some noises. moving swiftly on so we don't have to go look at that fizzog. You don't know, you just don't know what's in his mind, do you? To what extent he actually believes in his... Very difficult to tell. Anyway, the message... Go on, Morris.
He'll be saying, oh, climate change is really important, and then he'll be flying off in his private jet to have a holiday in the Caribbean, won't he?
Yes, while signing off on some new sort of coal power stations and giving another few $1 billion to fossil fuels. This is Dennis Brown.
This is Baltimore by the Tamarind.
Cover of the old Nina Simone classic. I think she did the original. Another couple of items. This was quite funny. So millennials and Generation Z have had enough of capitalism, and a survey shows that nearly 8 out of 10 young Britons blame capitalism for the housing crisis. Quite topical with a tune, really. 2 live, 1 and live under... I think a socialist economic system would be better. Yo. Quite nice graphic there. And this is by Owen Jones, who's a pretty cool left-wing commentator. The young are hungry and the rich are on the menu. And the people shall have no more to eat. They will eat the rich. Today the phrase is all over Twitter. On TikTok, viral videos feature fresh-faced youngsters menacingly raising their forks to anyone with cars that have start buttons or fridges that have water and ice dispensers. It's,
The rich just tax them.
well, I think that's right. It's the world's most famous left-wing millennial is New York's Democrat Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Neatly sums up the generation zeitgeist, yeah. But it's also reminds us of the famous injunction from Jonathan Swift entitled A Modest Proposal, which was the other way round, say that the rich should eat the poor, might ease the economic troubles by selling their children as food to rich gentlemen and ladies. A modest proposal. And with that charming thought, I think we'll declare the news ended for the moment. Yes, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez attended the uber-exclusive Met Ball in a dress emblazoned with "Tax the Rich." It's not that outrageous, really, is it? Younger Britons have taken a decidedly left-wing turn. A left-wing turn. You like that?
To stop them voting.
Say again?
Conservatives will, of course, do everything to stop them voting, like they're introducing new ID requirements, knowing that all people don't have passports or an ID document. And until now, you haven't needed such a thing to go voting. So just like the Republicans, they start screaming about electoral fraud, although I think at the last election there were 5 cases detected, household 40 million votes. So it's not really actually a very big problem at all.
Unfortunately, shouting electoral fraud's proven to be quite a useful smokescreen for certain posses, hasn't it? Moving swiftly on, I'm going to go back to some video mixing.
Reminds me of Citizen Kane. If you've never seen the great film Citizen Kane, where the election's held and he loses, and so the boy holds up the paper, says, "Shall we print this newspaper?" He says, "No, print the other headline. The other one is fraud at polls."
C'est plus change. singing some political footage here, but I weirdly haven't got anything particularly suitable loaded. A bit of that. So far we've only got busted once this show, which is pretty good because we played pretty much what he wanted. Hey Mike Codling, yay, good to see you there in your other avatar. Sort of slowly cranking up to the end of the show. That's a wicked little squelch. What's going on there?
This is Cabaret Voltaire, Do the Mussolini.
Oh, this is a classic. Do the Mussolini head kick, I believe, is the full title. Huh? Let's see what I can mix along to this. I've got to find something suitable. These bullets will do for a start. You have to requisition the mic. Here you go.
I have scratchy 7 inches of all these Cabaret Voltaire records, but then I did the mix last night and heard them all in high quality digital sound. It was quite a surprise. So it sounds a lot different to the ones I remember. I think my record's just a bit worn out, but you can actually hear the lyrics now. On this track I didn't actually hear all the lyrics. Sure, you can now. Cabaret Voltaire was named after a Dadaist venue in Switzerland? I think Zurich, possibly. There is actually a venue in Glasgow now called the Cabaret Voltaire. You're probably wondering why everyone is sending them condolences.
Was it an electro club? Voltaire did it. Celebrating Richard H. Kirk. Left this dimension in the last 24 hours. Cabaret Voltaire.
So I think we're reaching the end. This is the new single from Terza, who is a great South London artist. I would recommend her album Devotion, came out last year.
Like it.
Close touch tips where our motions attract the meeting of our lips. Pursued as a rhythm, magnetize our hips. Techno to tectonic plates with no chin. When you touch me, I'm out my body. Instinct takes place. Instinct. When you touch me, I'm out my body. Instinct takes place. Instinct. When you touch me, I'm out my body. Instinct takes place. Instinct. When you touch me, I'm out my body. Instinct takes place. Instinct takes place. You know I'm yours and you're mine. As soon as you meet my face. Close touch tips where our motions attract the meeting of our lips. Pursued as a rhythm, magnetized our hips. Techno to tectonic plates with no chin. When you touch me, I'm out my body. Instinct takes place. You know I'm yours and you're mine. As soon as you meet my face. 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 As soon as you meet my face.
This time you won. we're supposed to be one.
Nice.
Look what I've done. No.
Nice.
Why you
Sounds like Mixmaster.
why you two steps back, one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back, one step forward, two steps back.
Sounds of Mixmaster Morris on Pirate PTV.
Music is my beloved. Sensi is my beloved, you kind.
Yes, mate.
It's another record you should go shopping for. Green Tea Peng, Man-Made.
Yeah, she's great, actually. She was in the Big Issue last week. And, new wave of incredible female artists. UK still putting the talent out there.
The female musicians. It's been an amazing year for women in music.
Oh, about time.
Starts again, love only.
Green Tea Peng bringing this session to a close. I love this is sort of pretty avant-garde and yet very accessible and poppy at the same time. Totally original.
Something me to help me zoning. Feel my heart and it's wide open. Meditation. Music is my beloved. Sensi is my beloved, you kind. Judge me, but you can't stop, it's my meditation.
Yes, I hear you in the chat. Thanks for Positive News. And that is a website and a magazine. And well worth checking out and supporting. Search for Positive News magazine. You'll find it, I think.
Tuning in, I'm zoning.
A bit more of that on the BBC. World will be a happier place.
Sense of me, help me zoning.
No such thing as too much free time. I agree, Lotang.
Feel my heart and it's wide open. Meditation.
Let's make some more space for meditation, daydreaming, lovemaking,
My
chilling.
meditation.
Thread in the chat going on what's the best acid house record. It's, in your opinion, in the moment, I agree, Scotland who needs to qualify that. But I gotta say, the track that blew my mind was Acid Tracks by Future, and for me that kicked it off, and there's not been bettered really. I think we ought to take some acid and make some acid. Yo, Strictly. Friday.
acid track, so I played 808 State Flow Coma. I think that's as definitive as anything. Flow Coma by 808 State.
Flow Coma by 808 State is definitely up there. I love that triplet rhythm that they use, which I sort of copied for a preset on Jam called Flow Coma, actually. Yes, indeed. Hey there, Luca Forcucci, glad you could make it. Not sure if Facebook is still going, if we got busted again. I think we're still there, still there. This might get us banned actually, because it is. Played it last. Let's hope we get away. Let's stub it out a bit. Twist it out.
Feel my heart and it's wide open. Meditation. My meditation.
I did actually download a few Mixmaster Morris memes. Maybe we'll just quickly visit them at the end of the show. Yeah. Look, Morris, put a few of your specials from the week up. This is good as well. Watch out. Unknown pleasures. Quick diss for Jägermeister, Hermann Göring's personal drink.
Judge me, but you can't stop it, meditation.
Hopefully you can read these little memes here. Mixmaster's curated during the week. Each week, I don't know, but I've been grabbing some of your stuff. You have to hold it up to the camera. Let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna. Right, say 1 second. I'm there. Okay, right. I think it was Bob Monkhouse who said, when I was a child and I said I wanted to be a comedian, people just laughed at me. Well, they're not laughing now. Okay, I think that is probably... Oh, we've gone all laggy on us. Never mind. Wonder if I can... Maybe I'll just quit this for the moment. With a quick quit. I do mean it. Let's see, maybe that will restore us. Yes, nearly no lag there. Okay, look, we're on TV. Morris, it's been a pleasure. This is Mixmaster Morris, the one and only. He has been providing some lovely sounds for you, and I've just been sitting back and chilling and chatting, and we hope you have enjoyed the show. Slightly different one this week. Here we are in Space Lab in Ninja Tune hindquarters in London, so we're probably going to be doing some different style Pirate TVs going forward. I think so, as this is quite good fun. Thanks all for tuning in, and Jeff for carrying the heavy flight case up here, and everyone for your comments and chats and attention and general good vibes. We will return next week, I reckon, sending one love out to each and every one. I'm going to stop streaming on the count of 4. They hit it. Say the 1, 2, 3, 4, and just one more time. One love.